We are happy to welcome Kaity Hart and James Gross from Sunflower Fox and the Chicken Leg here on Break the Business. Hello to you both.
Hey.
Hi.
Okay, I have to know just out the gate, where the hell did that name come from?
Yes, please.
Because I can't get through it without giggling at least twice and like tripping over one of the words. Like what? Like I thought at first that you guys were a duo. Like one of you is Sunflower Fox and then one of you is the Chicken Leg. I mean, it'd be a great name for like a morning zoo radio show in the Midwest, like Sunflower Fox and the Chicken Leg here on 90.5. Where'd this band name come from?
Dude, it was such a ridiculous situation. We were riding in our drummer's basement and I just kept rattling off names of like, because the 70s, there's a lot of like nature analogies and things. So I was trying to think of that. And then every time I came up with something, he kept going.
And the chicken leg.
Every single time he kept going, and the chicken leg, and the chicken leg, and the chicken leg. I'm like, Jesus. So finally, we ended up with Sunflower Fox and the Chicken Leg, and I was like, fine, that's what it is.
So James was just pitching the Chicken Leg all night.
All night.
until he was going to get... And you probably felt so good because you were like, oh my God, I have the best name for a band. Sunflower Fox. We got it. And he's just like, and the chicken leg.
Yes. Exactly.
He was getting that in no matter what. And we're all better people for it. Thank you, James, for your persistence there. Before the show, Kaity and James, I was talking with my co-host here, Zach Sloan, about something that he really appreciates about your band. Zach, if you don't know, he's a music producer, and he's a very kind of authentic sort of producer. I mean, I'll let him talk a little bit about like his approach to producing and just like what it means to him that you guys are kind of like have a similar sort of production value.
I remember back when there was MTV2 used to play rock videos at night. You guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
And I remember like when I realized that MTV2 played the videos that MTV wouldn't anymore for me, that was like a revelation in my teenage years. And whenever I find a band like you guys, it's a similar experience for me. Like when I was combing through your Instagram and I saw the Les Pauls and the Aerosmith shirts. You're from Minneapolis. I'm a huge Prince fan. I listen to the songs and they are groovy, and you have guitar riffs and you have actual instruments and you have a singer who can kill. You know what I'm talking about. It's amazing. And I love hearing just rock bands who just embrace being a rock band. How did you guys was that a conscious decision? Were you trying to dodge the pop thing, or is that just who you are?
No, I think we just we decided to kind of write, and we were talking. We all been studio players for years, and we're all like, man, it's just all we do is overdubs these days, and it seems like you don't get to play off of people. And then the pandemic hit, and we were all just sitting alone, and we decided to just start writing stuff and started looking around to see if there were any studios that would let us in during that time. And Pachyderm's kind of in our backyard, and went in there and just played 3 songs as a rock band, and just loved how that went.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Zach.
So were you all session musicians, like the entire band, and you all pulled together, or how did that work?
We're kind of all session musicians and jobbers, and we've been doing a lot of the jobbing thing in the cover world, and we didn't have anything to do and realized, man, we've been doing this for 20 years. and I started looking at, I have a studio, and started looking through my hard drive and was like, man, I got 40 songs I've never finished. And then that just kind of inspired us. And instead of taking old stuff, we just wanted to collaborate and see, let's write together as a full band and see what happens.
Yeah. And the 70s thing comes from, it's just, I think when it was that era, it was just so raw and unperfected. Yeah. And now everything is just, it's so perfect. It's so gridded. I mean, we do it all the time. Like we do it as a day job, and, we go in and we make everything perfect, and it's auto-tuned, and it's perfect in time and everything. But when we record for this band, we said right off the bat, the only person that has a click is the drummer. And then we're going to record all together. We're going to do it live.
Whoa.
So
all in the room at the same time.
All in the room. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So we will only do overdubs if we absolutely have to. And then of course on like solos and vocals, because I mean it just bleeds onto my mic like crazy, so you can't hear anything. But everything's live.
Gosh, I dig that a lot. Let's talk about your new single, or newest single, Naughty Little Girl, which has a really powerful message, and something we like to talk about on this show a lot, which is just, the message of empowering women in the music industry. Can you talk a little bit about how that song came together and what it's about?
Yeah. And I won't name any names here, but, like we all have to deal with kind of sleazy agents and sleazy producers and just people that aren't cool at one time or another. And that
you can name one name. We'll let you name one. It's just between you, me, and the 33 million SiriusXM subscribers. Just one person on blast.
All I would
don't say my name.
Anytime like a Minneapolis person listens to this, they know exactly who we're talking about. It's funny because when they're creepy to the girls, they tend to be not so nice to the guys. Like they're just jerks anyway. So it was kind of fun to write a song about, like, if I had a lot of money and could get away with stabbing somebody in the eye with, a knife, I mean, that'd be cool. It's not going to happen. And, with your Simpsons reference, it's super funny because I try like crazy to try and sneak really deep cut Simpsons references every now and then into these lyrics. And I kept trying to find a way to sneak in the phrase, like hitting him with a bag of knobs. And I don't know if you guys get that reference at all. But I was like, that is really clunky. That sounds terrible. So
could you swing a stack of doorknobs? Can I?
Yeah, you have to supply your own knobs. So anyway,
All right. We're gonna talk about Simpsons. Look, we can all agree. Okay, look, your band's great. The music's awesome. Everybody needs to go to sunfoxband.com and just download the crap out of your music and make you guys world famous. Agreed. All right.
Done.
Let's talk about The Simpsons. I've been waiting for 384 episodes to find guests that love this show as much as Zach and I do. This is glorious. So first of all, I have heard through your publicist that your Simpsons fandom, Kaity, is so pronounced that you have a tattoo of Pinchy the Lobster. Can we get that? Oh my God.
Yeah, he's got the little leash and everything.
Oh my God, which is a delight. So for the non-Simpsons fans, there was an episode of The Simpsons where Homer had the brilliant idea of buying like a really tiny lobster at the grocery store for like a very low price. And then he was going to like take the lobster home as a pet and fatten it up. And then, as Homer noted, he was going to eat the profits. And somewhere along the way, Homer falls in love with the lobster and like develops an attachment to it and can't eat him even when he's like this giant lobster that's like attacking his family. And I love that, Kaity, you have immortalized your love of The Simpsons in the form of a Pinchy the Lobster tattoo. Here's what I would like to do, okay? Because as much as I want to just talk to you about The Simpsons until this episode is over and until like the heat death of the universe,
I don't think whole other episode, man.
Let's do it. Like, I don't even know who we have booked next week. We'll just bring you back. But I know that's probably not fair to you, and it'll probably make your publicist mad. So here's what I want to do. Okay, I'm gonna do this rapid fire.
Okay.
I have a list of Simpsons questions.
Oh.
I'm just getting your thoughts about The Simpsons,
Great.
And then a list of like advice questions for the musician viewers and listeners to help them become better versions of themselves, right? And so we're going to alternate Simpsons and advice questions, rapid fire, back and forth. We'll put some like really cheesy music imaging behind it. And so does that all work for you? Does that make sense? Are we good to go here? All right. So, we want to kind of do these fast paced. All right. Yeah. So let's see. What music do we have for this? There we go. Okay. All right. That'll work. Yes. All right. Here we go. Rapid fire questions. First one. What is your favorite musician or music group that has appeared on The Simpsons?
Spinal Tap. Yep.
Oh, hang on. Let me turn that music down. It is loud as hell. This worked a lot better in my head.
But I'm going to tell you, Spinal Tap is a great answer. It's a dark horse, but I think it's the correct answer.
I mean, there's
the only
so
answer.
many to choose from, right?
Yeah.
Like Red
Or
Hot
Ramones,
Chili Peppers,
Ramones,
Smashing
too.
Pumpkins.
Yeah.
It's Aerosmith. Yeah, a lot of great ones there.
Yeah.
Okay. What advice do you have for band members who want to resolve disputes with their band? How do you resolve disputes in your band?
We haven't had any really.
Dude, we don't fight at all.
we
We've been
do a
together
lot.
for 3 years.
Yeah. And we actually the last time we were down in Louisiana at the studio in the country, we were there for a week and drove 17 or 18 hours to get there back and forth. And we're like, man, the 5 of us haven't fought once.
Let me turn this. Like, I want to do it with the music, but it's like so loud in my headphones I can't hear your answers. So you have like no advice. You guys just never ever fight ever.
Yeah, we
haven't, but I would just recommend to think about the goal and not the personal gripe. Like we're literally talking about that before we came on.
Right on. I like that. Yeah, never
I
don't
can
lose
dig
sight
that.
of the big goal.
Yeah.
All right, your favorite Simpsons character that is not featured on the show regularly.
Oh my God, is that even possible? Oh, I know.
Like picking
that
between
little,
my children.
the little mini Krusty that dances around with a little squeeze box. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Handsome
You are
Pete.
going
That's it,
super
Handsome
obscure.
Pete.
I thought we were just gonna get like a Bumblebee man or something. No.
I mean, if we're gonna do this, let's do it, man.
The tiny Krusty that plays the accordion. Wow.
Yeah. Handsome
Outstanding.
Pete, that's for nickels. Jamie, do you have one?
That's what his name is, Dancing Pete. He dances for nickels. Oh, God. That's amusing for like 2 people listening right now, but they're having a great time.
And both of you love it.
Yeah. Okay. Katie, your best home remedies as a vocalist for helping you when you have vocal problems.
Steam, and only Steam. Just use Steam. Just use Steam.
Okay. Oh, like in what way? Like, are you like a steam machine, or are you just like turning on a hot shower?
Yeah, so you can use a hot shower. You can like shove a towel underneath the door so that it's like kind of like a poor man's steam room. But then also just like get like a small like Vicks. Like you want the warm steam, and you're breathing that in like consistently. And I can't remember the ratio, but about 20 minutes of steam is going to give you roughly an hour of phonation. That's how
I
it really.
love that. Well, we lost our music because that's just the kind of production value we have around here, but we'll keep going. The Simpsons quote that you randomly say all the time.
Oh, just got to put on my shoes.
Just gotta put my shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, that's. I just like I'm already imagining like Homer in his underwear, like playing with the RC cars or whatever.
Yeah.
Zach, do you have one as well? I know. I mean, there's so many that are just like flying through my head right now.
I hit the don't all the time.
Oh, like
All the time.
absolutely. Also except what you don't win friends with salad. That's
That's a good one.
that's all right. Advice for getting invited back when you play at a venue.
Just treating everybody nice, and giving shout outs too, to the bar staff and the sound guys and everybody, it's kind of back behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. I do handwritten thank you cards too.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like being nice goes really far. I mean, we're from Minnesota, like in the Midwest, so like that's just like bred into us from when we're children. But I mean, being nice goes a really long way. I'd much rather work with somebody who is not as talented, but who's super nice than somebody who's really talented, who's a jerk face.
And I love the lost art of the handwritten thank you note. Of course, the band that embraces 70s rock and doesn't want any technology in their recording studio is going to do handwritten thank you notes. I used to be like the biggest advocate for handwritten thank you notes. I've fallen off a bit since COVID because not for epidemiological reasons, but just for the simple matter that like nobody's in the office anymore, right? Like all the lawyers and musicians or executives that I used to write stuff to like all work remotely and like I don't have their home addresses. But
right.
I think for venues, a thank you note after you play a show makes a lot of sense. That is a great little nugget there. Mm-hmm. Now, finally, and I know this is not a fair question. If you even have to give me multiple answers, that's fine. But what, Katie, is your favorite Simpsons episode of all?
And you're going to ask this.
She
Krusty
came
Gets
prepared.
Canceled is one of them.
That's a great one.
With the ventriloquist doll, and then the Pinchy episode is like one of my most favorite episodes as well. Those two are like some of my highest. Those are the big ones. I love those ones. Yeah.
A viewer writes in, Pinchy would have wanted it that way. Oh my God. Both are absolute bangers. Zach, what's your favorite one?
This is a relatively new one compared to what we've talked about, but the one where they redo 1984 makes me so freaking happy every time I see it.
Oh my God.
I love that one.
Wow, you're going new. Like, you have to understand, Zach, when we're saying The Simpsons, we're really talking about like everything up to like 1997.
No, and that's usually what I go for, but that's one of the few new episodes that I saw and I just really enjoyed because it was just so funny with Bart figuring out where all the cameras were by mooning them. Like, that was just the best way to do it.
That is a good one.
I love that.
I normally don't give love to the new Simpsons episodes, but that one was pretty funny.
And 1984 is one of my favorite books. So
yeah, that was great. Gosh, yeah, I like. I still like. I mean, I don't know what the formal title, but the one where I think it's called Homer's Barbershop Quartet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where it's just, the B sharps.
B sharps.
I love. I just adore it. Like, I just like because it's like the Beatles parallels are hilarious, and just, oh my God, it's great. Just an amazing show. I'm telling you, Zach, I've been waiting forever for a guest to talk Simpsons with, and like, this is it's bringing so much joy to my face. I didn't think I could be happy in the face of this like horrific labor dispute that's going on with all of my clients, but this is just bringing me so much joy. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, James, for allowing us to have this moment with you.
Yeah.
And even more important, thanks for the records. You guys are making great music.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
So,
it's been pretty... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just like, because I hate asking bands this, like when I know the album's in progress, but like, when is I know there's like an album coming, right? Like, do we roughly know when we will get more of your music?
Yeah, right now we're just talking with pressing plants. We're going to release it on vinyl first, and we're just continuing to release the singles every 6 to 8 weeks. We actually have the album done, and we actually have our second album being mixed right now. So even though we haven't put it out, and we're starting to write the third one.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So,
super productive. I love
it.
Flowing really fast.
Yeah.
And you can find out more by visiting sunfoxband.com. And just, this is definitely a band you're going to want to keep close to your heart. There's a lot of great music coming your way. Before we let you go, Katie and James, I want to ask each of you our final question. We'll start with Katie. Do you have any last tips for the indie creators out there to help them move their careers forward?
Oh my gosh. Lots of spreadsheets. Keep track of everything. I mean, being extremely organized. I mean, we have entire Google folders, Google Drive folders, spreadsheets, everything as to where every single is at, where every release is at, who's talking to what producer, who's talking to what engineer, where our budget's at. I mean, we've got full P&Ls going all the time. So that we know exactly where everything's going, so that, when you get to the end of the year, you're not looking at your bank accounts being like, oh my God, where'd all the money go? So being extremely organized, I think, is like the best way. Like, you treat your band like a business, even though it's creative, it's still a business.
So I'm just making quick notes here. We got spreadsheets and thank you notes. The secret to Sunflower Fox and the Chicken Lake success.
Mine would be,
take chances.
Don't be afraid to ask. There's not a lot of gatekeepers anymore.
Nope.
And you can, a no doesn't mean you're not good. It just means they're not willing to help. And, that's kind of when we found Ron Nevison. I found him online, and I just sent him an email out of the blue saying, this is a guy that worked with Zeppelin and the Who, and he might work with us. And we got to fly out a couple months ago, about a month and a half ago. We got to spend a few days with him out in Portland, and we just never would have imagined that 2-3 years ago.
Gosh, I dig this. Katie, James, thank you so much for hanging out with us and for tolerating our silliness for the last
absolutely,
dude. Thank you, man.
It's been an absolute blast. Please stay in touch. Don't be a stranger. We'd love to have you on again real soon. We want to keep track of what you all are doing because this has just been fantastic.
Awesome, for sure. Thank you.